Secretary General, other distinguished guests. I wear two hats here tonight. So on one hand, I'm here representing Microsoft Corporation. And as such, I would very much thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. We're very glad to that you're here. On the other hand, I'm here as one of the original founders of Random Acts of Kindness. So I thought I'd take you back a minute to sort of decipher how this all happened and it began. It was back at the Crisis Camp and Unconference in Washington, D.C. in June of 2009, I believe it was. People in the conference wanted to know what industry was doing around crisis response, and we were asked to sit there. It was Phil Dixon and Jeff Martin from Google's crisis response team. It was Jeremy Johnstone from Yahoo's crisis response team, and myself representing Microsoft. And we were sitting there chit-chatting and talking about what companies were doing, and we were doing this in Katrina and the tsunamis and so forth. And we also realized there was a big opportunity to do something proactively before the next disaster happened. There are little problems that might not have a big commercial software value that needs to be solved. Then as such, we talked about, for instance, in Katrina, there were something like 17 different missing person databases that didn't merge or purge. So imagine if you're sitting there in a Superdome and you lost your 8-year-old daughter and you have to go through 17 different databases. We found it unacceptable. So we said, well, we should do something about it. And afterwards, the World Bank walked up to us, Stu Gill and Emma Phillips, as well as Robbie Schindler from NASA, and said that, are you guys serious about this? Are you really going to work together, Google and Microsoft and Yahoo? And if so, we're in. We threw all cautions to the wind, and we got a little group of people together in November of 2009 at the first hackathon at the Hacker Dojo in Silicon Valley. Had about 100 people show up. I didn't get fired, nobody got fired. It was a nice experiment. So we said, we can try this again. And shortly thereafter, 2 months thereafter, the Haiti earthquake happened, and we really saw the power of what volunteer technical communities can do when we come together and solve problems. We worked closely with Crisis Commons and Crisis Camp. OpenStreetMap got activated and all these things, right? So in June of this year, we had the second Random Acts of Kindness, and we were now up to 400 or 500 people, 6 continents. And this weekend we continue to grow. There's 21 locations. There's over 1,000, 1,100 people showing up this weekend from all over the world.
1,400.
1,400. I mean, it might be 1,500 by tomorrow. I have no idea. And we're here from the technology companies and the sort of NASA and the World Bank to sort of make sure you have a good, comfortable space to come together and do social good, to innovate and help build this community. It's not really about our technologies or the companies per se, right? It's about doing the right thing and being able to work together and come up with these solutions to sustain them. So on behalf of Microsoft and behalf of the Random Hacks Managing Committee, Founding Committee, whatever we call ourselves, thank you very, very much for being here. Give it your all, have a blast, and here's our name.